Hey guys, happy late Memorial Day. I want to make another Whiteboard 5 video in the series, and this one's going to be about internal threats that have happened in the media and the independent media that we're aware of. This is just going to be like a Cliff Notes watered down version. Um, I don't have like all intelligence or anything like that. These are just stuff you can look up. So recently, I was listening to a podcast and about an expert in biological, how should I put it, suppositions, because he's in loose association with people that research COVID, that kind of thing. Anyways, so he was telling a story about there's a Chinese national in California was busted with a biolab, and on the refrigerator was marked Ebola. The Ebola in question was destroyed, so don't know if it was or wasn't. If I was the guy that found it on the scene, I'd rather destroy it and be done with it and not be left to guesswork. So maybe it was. But this guy had like a lot of money, and he was traced to Canada, where he fled the country under odd, suspicious activities or something like that, and then came to California in the U.S. and bought like two B&Bs and was doing this crazy shit here. And who knows, what could have happened. I don't know if the guy was released confession or something, or prosecutors. I don't know. Recently, there was an IED placed in a dam in Alabama. I don't know who did that either. But okay, you're putting IEDs and bombs on infrastructure. What the hell for? Definitely not a good guy. Recently, 3 Muslim teens locked down Austin, Texas in under 12 hours. The whole city was on lockdown because of three of these Muslim teens who were immigrants from a country where IQ is like 80. So I'm sure they're encouraged to do so and attacked a lot of people. Recently, there was riots via Antifa uh, calling for violence in New Jersey, and some of these people were paid provocateurs who actually were from California, and so they had signs and all the material they needed to arrive on the East Coast. That's over 2,000-mile journey. You don't do that just because. So probably backed by Open Foundation Society or something like that. Let me switch over here. And then also, in the last few years, if you've been keeping up, there's been an attack on military bases here at home at the U.S. at the guard stations, and they've driven off and like fired a few shots. These are more than likely, I don't know, I'm not an expert, probably some kind of probing attack. Then also there was power stations and relay stations are shot up and vandalized in the last 5 to 10 years. There's also various chemical plants and factories that have exploded due to some unknown reasons, and some due to just bad safety and health regulation things. But a few a year, okay, odd. When you're at like half a dozen a year each year for several years, that's more than odd. Also, Chinese nationals are buying up land near bases. Now, it's not a problem I have them being Chinese. It's a problem I have them being linked to the Chinese Communist government that I have an issue with. So they're buying up land near military bases, especially out west, and launching drones from their yards and that kind of thing. So we have Chinese nationalists, unknowns, Muslim military age men, Antifa, Black Bloc, usual suspects. But there's no known solid concrete connections between them because you probably don't need them. All I know is they hate the West and they really don't like America because we represent the West. So they don't actually need to be hand in hand connected to do plots or whatever. So in previous videos, I started the large level 10,000-foot view. Now I'm working down to the individual state national level. And as you can see, we have a lot going on. This is all stuff, most of it, the last 5 years. Some goes back further, but it's increasing. And the only way you can find this news is like going on like X or some social media or TikTok or independent news sites or whatever, because your CNN and Fox sure as heck isn't covering this. So this all comes from, if you look at the usual suspects, Chinese nationals, and by that I mean Chinese Communist Party, so unknown antagonists, probably some anarcho-communist bloc, Muslim military-aged men. So you have usual secular Muslim radical Islamic factions, and then just opportunists too, who just want to sow chaos. And like also you have people that are, oh, I should have put this, people that are accelerationists, who want to accelerate the downfall of the country in order for it to come to ruin, in order to start, I guess, a new country. I don't. It's anti-logical. It's just nihilism in a neat package, really, which is bad, real bad. So because of this here, it took 5 videos to really get into the meat potatoes of what you can see here that most of us are geared up for. This is why we train in gear and guns and shooting and coordination and meeting like-minded people and that whole thing. So guys, not really calling for anything. I'm just saying be aware. Your head on a swivel. Do your research. Get into the news. Watch out for hyper sensationalist stuff that seems like that's crazy. I don't know if that's true. Run it through a few different filters. I swear it's just tea. And a lot of emotionally charged stuff I'd actually stay away from. Try to keep it nuanced. Try to be neutral about it as much as you can. If you go on emotional knee-jerk reactions, you're going to have an emotional knee-jerk reaction, and you're going to look like a fool, and that could play into someone else's plan that you're not aware of. Anyway, so I'm trying to keep this video length down, but this is a kind of a spicy one here, I guess you want to say, and it's interesting. I made another video a few days ago. It was a different version of this, so I was able to clean this up, and it looks a little better. Anyways, guys, just keep your head on a swivel. Be safe, take care of your family, friends, and everyone else, and just be aware. All right, guys, have a good one. Later.